Okie dokie boys and girls, it is day 9 of calisthenics endurance. Another 10-kilometer run has been checked off and this one was within an hour. I've decided that I should be running some days a bit faster, but most of the days very easy. So last week, the first week when I started, I was basically running at a decent pace every day, and I think the accumulating damage there is what started to hurt my hip. But now, I had a chat with my brother as well. He knows a lot about training. I should be training a little bit harder on a couple days. So for now it will be more speed twice a week, but in the future it will be like longer runs and stuff. And then I should go really easy on the remaining 5 days. So that's the plan going forward. And I think it will be very useful for Shimanami cycling road, the 70-kilometer road that I'm trying to run in March in Japan. Because when it comes to endurance and especially like ultra marathon, it's about putting in the hours. It's about putting in the hours of running day by day, and you don't necessarily have to go hard on those days, but you have to show up all the time. So yeah, it's definitely like the new philosophy there of going hard when you have to go hard and going easy when you have to go easy is gonna pay dividends, I feel like. But when it comes to easy trainings, let's talk a bit about the mindset, because I feel like when I started this calisthenics endurance journey, I kind of started off on the wrong foot, with the wrong mindset, I should say, right? Especially when it comes to leg trainings, because my mindset going into calisthenics endurance training with the leg days was to maintain what I gained from the bulk, right? And I think for me personally, that was a bad mindset, because as soon as I think about maintenance, I am not thinking about progress anymore. And not thinking about progress, it makes the training a chore. It makes it not exciting. Like, it could be different from you, like whatever floats your boat. But for me personally, I don't get excited to just do the same thing over and over and over again and trying to hang on to it, Training is not excited because you try to hang on to something. It's exciting because you get to see progress. You get to aim for progress. And that's what I should really aim for. So, going into this endurance journey, I was focused so much on trying not to lose what I already have that I forgot to think about how I can use my leg trainings to benefit the running, right? What I want to gain. So that's something that I really have to change going forward. And, if you switch to that mindset of how can my leg training benefit my running, or how can any other training that you're doing benefit something else that you're doing, right? When you start thinking about training on how it can benefit you and your goals, it becomes very exciting. Even the most dumb and stupid and boring exercises become exciting. I'm gonna give you an example, right? I didn't record it, maybe I should have recorded it, but I was doing clamshells, right? Just before recording this as the start of my workout. 3 sets of clamshells. It's an exercise for your glutes that really helps with running. And it's the most boring exercise you can imagine. But to me, it was exciting. It was more exciting than the pistol squats from last week. Why? Because I was doing it with purpose. When I did the pistol squats last week, I was doing it in order not to lose something. I was doing it as kind of in like this automatic mode, this task that I had to do, this box that I had to check off in order to not lose any strength. But if you start thinking about exercises, with a purpose, right, it becomes exciting because, now I'm doing those boring clamshells, but I damn sure want future me to humiliate me from now with how strong I've become in that stupid and dumb exercise, right? Because it's for running, right? And if I can transform my entire leg day into something that has a purpose for running, then all of a sudden it becomes very exciting, right? And I'm not saying that in order to do so, I have to have the most intense and taxing, I guess, leg day ever. I just have to do something, that benefits the running. And, that doesn't mean that I have to throw away the pistol squats. That doesn't have to mean that I throw away Nordic curls. I'm still gonna do those. I'm gonna do those today. But in order to do it in a purpose for running, right? If I want my pistol squats and my Nordic curls to benefit running, no matter how I think about it, I should be getting stronger at those, So at the moment, I have this baseline where I can do the pistol squats with good form, right? And I should try and improve that baseline. I should not try and improve my 1 rep max. I should just try and improve the baseline, right? And so just have purpose in your fucking training, right? It's a mindset. If you're not excited about your training, I think that perhaps there might be something wrong, and I think you have lower chances of being consistent on a long-term basis with your training. But anyway, enough yapping, all right? Because guess what? Now that I've made the switch in the mindset, I am fucking excited for the leg day. So I did the clamshells. Perhaps I'll record them next time, no matter how boring it is. But now I'm just gonna move on to some pistol squats. 3 sets of 5, I think with 28 kilos. And basically, it's gonna be kind of a baseline that I'm gonna be trying to improve, no matter how slow, on the coming weeks and months. But let's go. Alright, fucking hell. Whew. So the pistol squats are done. And don't get me wrong, it's not like I was doing this all the way to the limit, but that's also not the purpose. However, it's not like I'm doing this with the maintaining mindset anymore. So last training, when I was doing the pistol squats, I was doing it without intention to ever up the weight in the future, to ever make progress in the amount of sets or reps or weight, right? So when I didn't have the purpose of training for a specific improvement, right, it was very boring. And today I'm basically doing the same training, but the mindset is different. It's in the mind, boys. So today's training, 28 kilos, 3 sets of 5, nothing special. I can do more, but it's just, with the purpose of in the future also being easily able to do, a bit heavier weight, for example. So it's not like I'm gonna trash myself completely on squats at some point in the future. However, I do have the intention of, with the same intensity, the same effort level, being able to do more than I am right now. So in that sense, it's still exciting, because perhaps I will improve 1 rep for 1 set every training, right? And then after 3 weeks, I can finally tell myself, like, hey, perhaps add 2 kilos and start over again, Very slow progress, but in the end, it will add up. It's just like the front lever in my case. During the bulk, it wasn't my main focus anymore, and so I kept being satisfied with very slow progress, but at the same time being excited for it, right? And when I looked at it over a long period of time, I realized I had gotten way stronger than I would have ever expected. I want the same to happen with these pistol squats, because if I get strong quadriceps, it's also gonna benefit me for running. But anyway, let's head outside. It's cold as shit today, the sun is out. It's like insanely good weather, but once you head outside, it's like way too cold. It's like 1 degree at the moment or something. But anyway, let's put on a sweater and do the Nordic rolls. Alright, the unassisted ones still hurt a little bit in my side, so I'm not gonna do those, but it's not too bad. So next time I'll definitely try again. But just, I think, the same training as last time, basically. 3 sets of 5 Nordic curls, and just use as least or as less assistance as possible. So I'll be trying to do the negative completely without assistance, and then push myself back up with my pinkies, because that doesn't hurt my injury. So 2 more sets, let's go. I did it again. Doesn't hurt as much though. Alright, 2 is enough. Okay, so that's it for today's training, and well, needless to say, I'm very happy with how it went. I got some progress on the injury as well, you know. Unassisted Nordic curls is something that was just impossible last week, so very happy with how that is going. I just have to be a little bit more patient, you know, however hard that may be. But anyway, when it comes to today's training, you know, I guess we learned that it's a mindset, as a certain Dr. Density would say, but you know, it's actually very factual, you know. When it comes to today's training, it wasn't very different from last week's training. It was almost the same. I did pistol squats, I did Nordic curls. I guess I added the clamshells, but can we agree that it does not make the training in itself more exciting? What did make the training more exciting was, you know, the way I went about it. Like I said, the mindset, right? And that's very important, because now this training is done, I'm already looking forward to the next one. I'm already looking forward to Saturday, because then I get to beat my clamshell PR. I get to do the pistols again, and eventually up the weight. I get to do the pistols because I want to get strong legs for my running, and I get to do the Nordics because I want to have strong hamstrings and calves for the running, and tendons, right? So all of these exercises now have purpose. I don't do them for the sake of maintenance. I don't do them for the sake of being afraid to lose something that I already had, right? It's just now I can do these exercises with the purpose of moving forward, which is, in my opinion, the most important part. But anyway, that's it for today's training. I'm gonna head downstairs and have some lunch now, and I'll see you tomorrow for, I think, yeah, it's gonna be a skill day, you know? But anyway, yeah, ain't nothing to it but to do it. We will become the thickest boy on the block with the clamshells and so on and so forth. But, you know, next leg day will be equally exciting, I'm sure. So I'll see you tomorrow.